Hello everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel. Today we are going to learn class 10th subject English Kumar Bharti poem 3.1 Night of the Scorpion English workshop. First activity. After reading the poem, complete the following. What happens? There are three main parts of the poem. Do you know what they are about? The first one is done for you. Lines 1 to 7. What is happening? The scorpion comes into the home to escape the rain and stings the poet's mother. Line 8 to 33. Villagers gathered over there sympathizes poet's mother and tries to console her. They sat around her and tries to help her. Line 34 to 48. Poet's rationalistic father used various medicines and herbs on it. On the other hand, the holy man performed different rites, and finally, after 20 hours, it lost its sting. Mother thanked God for Scorpion picking on her and not on her children. Second activity, complete the following tables. A. Background or setting of the poem. Type rural or urban. It's a rural. Evidence, that is quotes or lines from the poem, and those lines are: to crawl beneath a sack of rice, the peasant came like swarm it flies, with candles and with lanterns. On the mud baked walls, they sat around on the floor with my mother in the center. More candles, more lanterns. My mother twisted through and through, groaning on a mat. I watched the holy man perform his rites. Table B. Scorpion. Many images of the scorpion contrast in the opening lines of the poem. Find examples of each and add them to the columns below. Two columns are given here: timid in one column and dangerous in second column. In first column, first, hides beneath a sack of rice. In column of dangerous, first, diabolic tale. Second, in the column of timid, is afraid of people and goes back. In column of dangerous, second, the evil one. Table C. Imagery. Look at the description of the village peasants. What do the imagery suggest about them? In first column the images, and in second column what images suggest? In the images, they came like swarm of flies. What image suggest? That is, they came in large numbers, a huge crowd over there. In the images, they buzzed the name of God. What this image suggests? This image suggests that the peasants, the villagers, repeatedly or softly chanting the name of God. In the images, they threw giant scorpion shadows on the mud baked walls. This image suggests that lanterns through shadows on walls looks like a huge scorpion. In the images, they clicked their tongues. What image suggests? They made sorrowful and frightening sounds with their tongues. Third activity, choose the correct alternative. First, the child is afraid but admires. Three options are given. A. The initiative of the peasants. B. His father trying every way to cure. C. The bravery of his mother. And the correct option, the correct alternative is C. The bravery of his mother. Second, his father and the villagers panic and hastily suggest option A to take her to the hospital, B. Ayurvedic treatment, C. Religious remedies to help, and the correct option is option C. Religious remedies to help. Third, the poet seems to see the villagers as impractical and almost irritating, which suggests A. The poet is critical of caste, B. The poet is critical of religion, C. The poet is critical of tradition, and the correct alternative is C. The poet is critical of tradition. Fourth, this is a dash dash poem as it tells a story. Options are option A reflective, B imaginative, C narrative, and the correct option is option C narrative. Fifth, using the first person gives the feeling that is told from dash dash. Option A personal experience, option B public experience, option C private experience, and correct option is option A personal experience. 6. The scorpion picked on me and spared my children depicts A. Mother's bravery, B. Mother's endurance, C. Selfless and unconditional love of mother, and the correct option is option C. Selfless and unconditional love of mother. 7. The poem does not have a rhyme scheme, which means the poem is a perfect example of a option A ballad, option B sonnet, option C free verse, and the correct option is option C free verse. 8th, the poem is titled Night of the Scorpion. For the major part of the poem, option A, the mother remains triumphant at the end. B, the scorpion is the victor. C, the father succeeds in curing the mother. And the correct option is the scorpion is the victor. 9th, the peasants chant the name of God to option A, nullify the stinging experience, B, praise God, C, appease God, and the correct option A, nullify the stinging experience. 10th, the click of tongues reflects their dash dash to the predicament. Option A, individual response. Option B, collective response. Option C, group response. And the correct option is option B, collective response. Activity 4. From the poem, provide evidence for the following. In column A, stages are given, and in column B, You have to write evidence, that is lines from the poem. Stage A, the attempts by the peasants to help alleviate the mother's pain. The peasants came like swarm of flies and buzzed the name of God 100 times to paralyze the evil one. With candles and with lanterns. B. The action of these same peasants to kill the scorpion. Evidence. They searched for him, they clicked their tongues. C. The reaction of the rational father. My father, skeptic rationalist, trying every curse and blessing, powder, mixture, herb, and hybrid. Never poured a little paraffin upon the beaten toe and put a match to it. D. The various superstitions versus the scientific. Trying every curse and blessing, powder, mixture, herb, and hybrid. He even poured a little parapet upon the beaten toe and put a match to it. I watched the holy man perform his rites to tame the poison with an incantation. E. Evil versus good, and buzz the name of God 100 times to paralyze the evil one. Fifth activity, read the poem and complete the table showing the qualities of father and mother, giving sufficient evidences from the poem. Qualities in first column father and in another column mother. Qualities of father: skeptic, rationalist, loving, disparate. Lines as evidence: my father, skeptic, rationalist, trying every curse and blessing, powder, mixture, herb, and hybrid. He even poured a little paraffin upon the beaten toe and put a match to it. Mother, the qualities of mother: patient, long suffering, brave, self sacrificing, selfless. Lines as evidence: my mother twisted through and through, groaning on a mat. My mother only said, "Thank God the scorpion picked on me and spared my children." Sixth activity: A. Match the figures of speech with the correct definition. Poetic devices. In column A, figures of speech are given, and in column B, there is a definition. In column of figures of speech, there is metaphor, alliteration, onomatopoeia, simile. In column of definition, A. The use of the same sound at the beginning of words. B. An implied comparison. C. A comparison between two different things, especially a phrase containing the words like or as. D. A word which resembles the sound it represents. Now we'll match the pairs. First figure of speech is a metaphor, an implied comparison. Second, alliteration, the use of the same sound at the beginning of words. Third, onomatopoeia, a word which resembles the sound it represents. Fourth, simile, a comparison between two different things, especially a phrase containing the words like or as. B. Find examples from the poet that contain simile. The peasants came like swarms of flies. line that contain metaphor to paralyze the evil one, lines that contains onomatopoeia and buzz the name of God. They clicked their tongues, groaning on a mat. Seventh activity, expand the flow chart in writing a paragraph in your own words. The flow chart is given. Mother, agony, fights the venom of scorpion, unable to utter but groan, thanked God, survived. The poet's mother is beaten by a scorpion and is in great agony. She fights the venom of the scorpion with the help of her husband and the villagers. She is unable to say anything but only groans in pain. Finally, the poison is tamed after 20 hours. In the end, the mother thanked God that she has survived the ordeal and that the scorpion had picked on her and spared her children. Eighth activity, the poet has used various kinds of imagery to create an image which appeal to our senses. Pick out various kinds of imagery and complete the table. In first column, visual imagery appealing to eyes. Second column, tactile imagery, sense of touch. Third column, sound imagery. And fourth column, eternal sensations, feelings and emotions. First, scorpion crawling beneath a sack of rice, tactile imagery, sense of touch. I watched the flame feeding on my mother, sound imagery, buzz the name of God, internal sensation, feelings and emotions, fear, visual imagery appealing to eyes. Second, with candles and lanterns throwing giant scorpion shadows on the mud baked walls. Tactile imagery. Father pouring paraffin on the toe. Sound imagery. They clicked their tongues. Internal sensation, feelings and emotions. Pain. Ninth activity. Write an appreciation of the poem in paragraph format. The poem Night of the Scorpion is written by Nissim Ezekiel. The poem is written in free verse without any rhyme scheme or meter. There are many figures of speech, for example, onomatopoeia, like and buzz the name of God 100 times. Here we can actually hear the buzzing of the prayers of the many peasants. The other figures of speech are metaphor, alliteration, simile, antithesis, etc. The theme of the poem is the sense of sacrifice shown by a devoted mother. Even as she suffers the pains of a scorpion bite, she thanks God for sparing her children from such an ordeal. Here we have completed the English workshop of the poem Night of the Scorpion. In order to watch similar video, subscribe our channel, like our videos, share among your friends and relatives. Thanks for watching this video till the end. Thank you. Thanks a lot.